Oh boy. Class is in session, alright. Right here. Right here. Okay then. Hello people of YouTube. Tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, here today to give you guys another anime review. Wow. So today, people of YouTube, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and give you guys a review for the anime of Assassination Classroom second season. Now, if you recall, last year, like literally just about last year, I did the original Assassination Classroom June 30th. So basically just around last year, it's July, was it 2nd? Now I'm recording this. But anyway, so Assassination Classroom Season 2 basically pretty much picks up where it left off of the original Assassination Classroom, with Class 3E still trying to kill Koro Sensei, but the deadline keeps coming closer and closer and closer, and with each pressing moment, they still need to find a way how to kill this unstoppable, fast, unwealthy being known as Koro Sensei, their classroom teacher. And basically, it's through their trials and tribulations into them finishing off the story of Assassination Classroom. Now, this season is the series finale. It's the end of the season. No more Assassination Classroom at the end of this. Or, as I like to call it, Assassination Classroom Season 2. I was meaning to say that for quite some time. So people of YouTube, like I said before, I previously watched the last season of Assassination Classroom last year around June. And I really liked the original Assassination Classroom. It was very entertaining, fun to watch, with a bunch of colorful characters, and a great, interesting story. So needless to say, when I heard that there was going to be a new Assassination Classroom, I was all for it. I want them to continue on with the story and end it off completely. So they did. They end off the story completely, and it was like literally, I think 2 days ago the series ended, and all I have to say about Assassination Classroom Season 2 is this. It is way, way better than the last season. I mean, guys, this is going to go down as in anime history as one of the best second seasons of any anime, period. No exaggeration. I am being upfront, dead honest with you guys. This is literally the best season of any new anime in 2016 or 2015 or whatever. This second season far surpasses everything that I had expected of Assassination Classroom. And when I first saw Assassination Classroom last year, I had minimal expectations. When it ended, I had really good expectations. Her second season, pretty good expectations. When it finished, far exceeds it. Best second season of any anime I'll ever give it. It's the best second season ever. So what makes it the best second season ever? Well, the animation always goes without saying, by the animation studio Lurch, whatever. Anyway, the animation done by Lurch, the guys that made Danganronpa, the anime, did a really outstanding job. Well done with this animation. Basically the same as the first season. Very colorful, the tone was great, the animation was solid, the character designs are still solid, and minus with one and two people that look exactly the same, even though they're supposed to be completely separate characters, but that's besides the point. I already mentioned that in the first review, but who cares? The animation's still great. Good job on Lurch. So what makes Assassination Classroom Season 2 way better than in its first season is its story. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, the first season of Assassination Classroom, meh. I mean, the story was good and all, but they didn't really explore, they didn't really develop some of these characters, and they didn't really flesh out some of these characters in general, especially with our main character, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But needless to say, the story in Assassination Classroom Season 2 far exceeds my expectations. The story is way better, way fluid, mainly towards the second half of the anime, which we'll get into, but the second half of Season 2 are the highlights. Basically, anything after episode 12 is solid. they're the best episodes ever. The characters. Oh boy, the characters. A lot of these characters, especially characters that were fascinating and interesting, actually get full backstories, development, and reasonings on why they do the things that they did. Mainly two in particular. Number one, obviously being Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei, you finally get his backstory, you finally get who he's about. I'm not going to tell you what his backstory is, because that's a major spoiler, of course. But let's just say the second half of the anime will explain it, and he finally gets his development, and basically, he stays the same as he was in the second season, which is also what I mentioned. The characters that were brought back from the first season into the second season are basically the same characters as they was in the first season. They're all likable, very interesting. But Koro Sensei in particular finally gets his own backstory, and he gets his own development, and you understand why he looks like the way he is, and that was very interesting. I was completely blown away by his backstory. Very sad, very tragic. Moving on. And the character, which I really wanted them to give more development, was our main character, Nagisa. Granted, in the first season, Nagisa was kind of underwhelming in some cases, because, let's face it, Nagisa, albeit he was the main character of the anime, he didn't get much screen time, he didn't get much development. Sure, he was supposed to be, kind of like the best assassin of the class, but yet you don't get much of who he was, what he's about, what's his backstory, what's his home life like. Well, you finally get his backstory, and you finally get how he looks, and, why does he look like a girl. You actually get development out of Nagisa, which I was shocked. And his reasoning on why he looks like a girl, and why he, why he just basically looks like a girl and stuff, and why he acts the way he acts, makes total sense, and I really related to Nagisa in a lot of ways. More ways than one. But let's just say, Nagisa is a full-fledged, fully developed character, and you actually understand why he does the things that he does, and you actually understand why he looks like a girl. Holy shit, that was like the main question, why does Nagisa look like a girl? You finally get an answer on why he does, and again, it makes sense. It really does. But above all else, a lot of characters who also, had screen time, they actually did get their own development and their own screen time. For example, Irina gets her own screen time and own development. Itona gets his own episodes and own development. You understand who he is, what he is. Again, Koro Sensei, Nagisa, all these characters, they all get their own backstories. They get their own development, and the characters are more fleshed out at that. Now, the one thing I will give Assassination Classroom credit for is, basically, the characters' thought process on, like, what they want to do with their lives after high school. Well, keep in mind, they're in junior high, but there's these episodes, like, especially this one episode in particular in Assassination Classroom, which I found very interesting, which, again, basically happens in the second half, was that they were going over what did the students want to be when they grow up. What are their future? What are their dreams? What are their goals? You actually hear that in the second season of the anime. They're each individual goal. And it makes sense. It really does. And especially with Nagisa, because Nagisa felt conflicted on what he wanted to do when he was growing up. And I have to admit, Nagisa is still a full-fledged developed character, even though I just said that already. What the fuck? That's kind of being that's kind of repeating what he just said, Alejandro. Anyway, but you actually get what these kids wanted to do, and it's kind of thought-provoking when you think about it, because, again, you can really relate to, what you wanted to be when you wanted to grow up. I mean, who did you want to be when you grow up? It's kind of, kind of like that, and I do like how they addressed that in the second season of the anime, so good on you, anime. The ending. Episodes 24 and 25. And basically episodes 21 through 25. Holy shit. Wow. Again, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I might do a spoiler review about Assassination Classroom Season 2. But let's just say, be prepared for what's coming to you at the end of the second season of Assassination Classroom. Because holy shit! Whew! That hits you right in the feels. It's like the ending will get you so sad, but it's also satisfying. I am so happy that they didn't cop out. Although they did cop out on one thing that happened in the second season, but I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide. But I'm so happy how it ended. It satisfied me to no degree. It was a fully fledged, satisfying ending. I was satisfied with the ending I got for Assassination Classroom. I did. Not to mention, the opening themes for the anime, they're solid. I really do like the opening themes, especially the first opening for the second season. I really like that one better than the second opening for the second season, or basically the fourth opening in the entire anime, but basically the third opening. Who cares? I like that better. So yeah, I'm pretty much giving this anime a lot of praise. Obviously, the best second season of any anime, period. Yeah, about that. Albeit, the second season of Assassination Classroom is solid. Best ever. But I keep mentioning the second half of the second season. The first half. To be honest, it kind of felt wash, rinse, and repeat, because I felt like what happened in the first season, it was kind of continuing on what happened through that left off, and that's supposed to happen. That's obviously supposed to happen in the second season. But it kind of felt like wash, rinse, and repeat. It kind of felt a little underwhelming. The first half did not live up to the second half, because obviously the anime gets way better at the second half of the anime. But the first half of the anime, let's just say the pacing was a little slow. It wasn't really all that memorable the first half, but the second half of Assassination Classroom, best ever. The second half is better than the first half, albeit there's one episode in the second half I call bullshit. What the fuck? It's episode 19. I'm not gonna explain to you what happens in episode 19, but it's complete and utter bullshit. The most bullshittiest episode of the second half of the entire anime, nonetheless. Like, really, this certain thing happens at the end of episode 18 that leads up to episode 19. I was completely like, whoa, really? That is the most bullshit thing I've ever seen in any anime, period. Like, that is some hardcore like, these guys could have gotten into a lot of trouble. Let's just put it like that. But you know what? It's fucking anime and Deus Ex Machina and all that bullshit, but who the hell cares, okay? It's still a fantastic second season. Minus that one episode and minus the first half, Assassination Classroom Season 2 is still the best second season of any anime I've ever seen, ever. This will go down in anime history. Oh, and by the way, not to mention, the ending of Assassination Classroom. What happens in episode 24? Really? An ice cream truck outside my house. Oh, God. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, not to mention, episode 24 of Assassination Classroom has what I personally call a perfect scene. Episode 24 in general is just a perfect episode. Okay, so, again, the ending of Assassination Classroom, be prepared, because holy shit, that hit me right in the feels. I literally cried for the ending. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried. I even shouted, stop it. Stop it. And my mom came into the room and she looked at me. She looked at the TV. And I'm like, just shut up. Just close the door. She was like, are you okay? I'm like, no. Stop it. Shut up. Leave. Go. I'm not going to admit. I'm going to admit. That ending. Right in the field. So, guys, people of YouTube, I've rambled on a little long. Assassination Classroom Season 2 is the best second season to date, and definitely contender for one of the best animes I've seen in 2016. I'm not gonna lie. So with that being said, people of YouTube, I'm going to give the second season of Assassination Classroom a 9 out of 10. Best second season of any anime, period, and definitely worth watching. Hell, in fact, I'm gonna finally give this anime an overall score. And its overall score, plus what happens in the first season, I really enjoyed. I believe I gave that like an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not sure, correct me on that. But the second season gets a 9 out of 10. So, as an overall score of Assassination Classroom, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Because there are still issues with the anime, cough cough, episode 19 in the first half of the second season, and also a couple of other things that I mentioned about the first season. But other than that, a lot of issues that were happening in the first season were resolved and fixed from the second season, and I'm not going to lie, people, Assassination Classroom overall is a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely worth watching. Not a 10, but a 9.5. Best second season of any anime ever. So Assassination Classroom Season 2, in general, just gets a 9 out of 10, but the entirety gets a 9.5. Watch Assassination Classroom. So, all in all, people of YouTube, what is your opinion about Assassination Classroom Season 2? I would like to know your comments down below. And until then, people of YouTube, stay tuned later on today, where I will give you guys my thoughts and reactions to Berserk, the new Berserk anime that comes out. It came out yesterday, but I postponed it until today because I was pretty busy yesterday. But I'm going to now watch the new Berserk 2016, so stay tuned for that. My thoughts and impressions on that. And stay tuned. Later on, hopefully this week, I'm going to persevere and get another anime review. Hopefully at the 4th of July. Who knows? Maybe I'll get an anime done by the 4th of July. I don't know. I'll have to see. But that's going to wrap this video up, people of YouTube. So until then, this is the Crimson Assassin, signing out. Peace, YouTube.